The coffee hit the marble desk before anyone heard it fall. A dark splash spread across glass and paper, and the entire floor went silent. People froze mid-step, eyes lifting slowly, like prey sensing danger. The man at the head of the room didn't shout. He smiled. That smile was worse. It meant someone was about to be taught a lesson they would never forget. The office belonged to Helixon Systems, a glass tower rising above downtown like a monument to control. Inside, everything was clean, bright, and cold. The air smelled like money and fear. People worked late, spoke softly, and never questioned orders. Careers ended quietly here. At the center of it all was Grant Holloway, senior director, king of the 15th floor. He ruled with jokes that cut deep and silences that crushed people. No one stood up to him. No one ever stayed long enough to try. That morning, a new intern had joined the team. Her badge read Lily Brooks. She wore plain clothes, kept her head down, and listened more than she spoke. Her desk sat near the printers, far from the windows. Most people didn't learn her name. Grant didn't bother at all. To him, interns were temporary objects, useful until broken. He liked breaking them early. It made the rest easier to control. Within days, Lily saw everything. How voices dropped when Grant walked by. How credit vanished from shared work and reappeared under his name. How one analyst cried quietly in the bathroom after being mocked in a meeting. How an older employee was told to move faster or move on when his hands shook from medication. Lily never reacted. She watched. She remembered. She wrote things down when no one noticed. By Friday, tension hung thick in the air. A quarterly review had gone wrong, and Grant was in a mood that made people avoid eye contact. He stormed into the conference room holding a stack of papers, his coffee steaming beside him. Everyone sat stiff, waiting for the blow. Lily took a seat near the end of the table, notebook closed, hands folded. Grant slammed the reports down. His voice was calm, almost cheerful. That scared them more than shouting. He pointed at a chart. "Who touched this?" No one answered. He flipped a page. "Someone changed the data. Fixed it, actually." His eyes narrowed. "Which genius thought they could clean up my numbers?" Lily stood slowly. "I did," she said. Her voice was steady, not loud. "There was a mistake in the client metrics. I double-checked the source files." She didn't finish. Grant laughed. Not a big laugh. A sharp one that cut the room in half. "You," he said, looking her up and down. "You're an intern. You don't fix problems. You cause them." A few people looked at the table. Someone swallowed hard. Grant reached for his coffee mug and walked toward her. Each step felt heavy, final. "You need to learn your place," he said. Then he tipped the cup. The coffee poured over Lily's hair, down her face, soaking her shirt. It dripped onto the floor in slow drops. No one moved. No one spoke. The sound of the liquid felt louder than any scream. Grant leaned close. "Clean yourself up," he said softly. "Then clean out your desk." Lily didn't cry. She didn't wipe her face right away. She stood there, breathing, coffee cooling on her skin. Then she reached into her pocket and placed her phone on the table. She tapped the screen once. A voice filled the room, calm and controlled. "Grant," the voice said, "do you always treat people this way, or just my daughter?" Grant stepped back like he'd been hit. His smile vanished. "Who is this?" he asked, his voice cracking. "This is Daniel Brooks," the voice replied, "founder and CEO of Helixon Systems, and I've been listening to your meetings for 3 weeks." The room felt like it had lost oxygen. Chairs creaked as people shifted, stunned. Lily wiped her face with her sleeve and looked straight at Grant. Her eyes were clear, not angry, certain. "You taught them to be afraid," she said quietly. "I needed to see that for myself." The door opened. 2 security officers walked in, followed by legal and HR. A folder was handed to Grant. He didn't open it. He didn't need to. His hands were shaking too much anyway. "You're done here," one of the officers said. "Effective immediately." Grant tried to speak. Nothing came out. As he was escorted away, Lily turned to the room. Her voice was gentle now. "You're safe," she said. "Not because I'm here, because this ends today." People stared at her like she had stepped out of a shadow they'd lived in for years. Someone whispered her name. Someone else wiped tears from their eyes. Lily picked up her bag and looked around one last time. "Silence kept you alive," she said, "but it won't build anything worth keeping." She walked out as the room stayed frozen behind her, the echo of power finally broken. By the time Lily stepped into the hallway, her phone was already vibrating non-stop. Messages stacked faster than she could read them. Executives, board members, security. The building felt different now. The same glass walls, the same bright lights. But the fear had cracked. People stood in small groups, whispering, staring, finally breathing. For years they had learned how to disappear. In one moment someone had seen them. Grant's removal didn't happen quietly. It moved through the company like a shockwave. By noon, 3 managers were escorted out. By evening, an emergency board meeting was called. Lily didn't attend. She sat alone in a small office with the lights off, listening to recorded meetings from past months. Voices she now recognized, jokes that landed like knives, threats disguised as motivation. Each clip made her jaw tighten, not with anger, but resolve. That night, the video leaked. Not the whole thing, just enough. The coffee, the silence, the voice on speaker. By morning, it was everywhere. Phones buzzed on buses. Screens glowed in break rooms. "Intern humiliated by boss," the headline said at first. Then the truth came out, and the tone changed. Inside Helixon, something rare happened. People talked, not in whispers, out loud. Stories poured into HR inboxes faster than anyone could respond. Years of swallowed fear finally had somewhere to go. Names were named, dates remembered. Lily read every message. She didn't sleep. She didn't need to. 2 weeks later, the entire company gathered in the main hall. No desks, no titles on badges, just people. Lily stood beside her father, not behind him. Cameras lined the walls, but she barely noticed. She looked at faces instead, nervous ones, hopeful ones, tired ones. "I didn't come here to catch one man," she said, her voice carried without effort. "I came to understand why so many good people felt small." She paused. Power didn't fail this company. Silence did. Her father stepped back and let her continue. That alone said everything. She spoke about fear, about how it spreads quietly, how it teaches smart people to doubt themselves. She spoke about dignity, not as a reward, but a rule. No applause interrupted her. People listened the way they listen when they finally believe they're being heard. Changes came fast after that. Not just new faces, but new habits. Meetings where interns spoke first. Reviews where credit stayed where it belonged. A hotline that actually worked. The 15th floor was rebuilt, not redesigned, but reclaimed. Grant Holloway vanished from the industry. No farewell emails, no second chances, just a quiet end to a loud reign. His name became a warning, not a memory. Months later, Lily walked through the office again, this time without a badge that hid her name. People smiled, not carefully, but honestly. One analyst stopped her and said, "You didn't just save jobs, you gave us our voices back." Lily nodded, unable to trust her own voice in that moment. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the tower, Lily stood by the window alone. Power, she had learned, wasn't loud. It didn't pour coffee, it didn't demand fear. Real power waited, watched. And when it moved, it changed everything. And somewhere out there, someone who had been laughed at, dismissed, or humiliated watched that video and realized something simple and dangerous. The quiet ones are never weak, they're just waiting.